me out, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I got lipstick on you. No, I didn't.
Man, it is so good to have you here. Thanks for coming out for a drive with us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Where are we going?
Well, I hear that we may be going somewhere special. Are we going to a Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Let's go. Roar.
So good to have you here, and to you watching today, welcome to the Carpool Honcho with, I guess, I'm Joe,
Dino
and we've got our incredible guest,
Catherine.
from The Engine.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Oh, damn. Okay.
you are our Super Bowl.
I'm so busy. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Let's get driving.
Let's do this.
Oh, Catherine, mate. Tell us about that song, what it means to you.
Oh, look, it means that I fight, I build resilience. It means that nothing's a problem, like there's always a way through something, and I guess I play that song just to get me pumped up when I need that extra motivation.
And we all need that, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and I think music can move you like nothing. And I think people probably underestimate the power of music, and that's kind of why we asked this song, because I think everyone deep down has a song that rocks them, and you know, when they need it the most, they can turn it up, crank it up like we just did in the car then, let the cares of the world go, baby, and just rock it.
I need it in the morning to get my 5,000 steps done, Dean, but that's another story.
Good on you, mate. Catherine, I know by the time, you know, through some of the conversations we've had and the time that you've shared, and I've heard you share in business, that you've been through some adversity. And it seems as though adversity doesn't scare you anymore. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it doesn't scare me, but what I do know is that I try not to let it get to me. I know that there's going to be a way through it, and I also know to put some like sort of coping mechanisms in place, you know. So if it's adversity for me personally, I surround myself with, you know, the people I know that'll help me, that'll lift me up. And if I'm dealing with adversity for clients, I'll put my hand in and I'll say, I'm here with you on the journey, right. You know. So there's always a way through it. But yeah, I've had a lot of adversity.
Tell us a bit about that. Like,
wow, where do I start? I guess my strength from my adversity comes from my mum. So, you know, I'm one of 8 children, and my mum raised us on her own and did 3 jobs. So that's where I get my strength from. Mm-hmm. But at 27 years of age, I lost the hearing in my left ear. It was sudden. I had an aneurysm, and got told stay home and just relax and live life, and I'm like, hell no. I'm not staying on a shelf
never
of any
work
kind.
with you.
No, absolutely not. And I was told to have children. I was like, children weren't even a thought process at that point. Yeah. So you know, for me, it's really like, well, this has happened and I can't change it. I can only control what I can control. So just get on with it, basically.
And how does that help you in your helping your business people?
Well, it helped me in many ways. It means that I understand what they're going through. I've got an immediate connection, and even through my own business journey, you know, I've gone through massive roadblocks, and you know, I lost my businesses. I got defrauded, and I put my heart and soul in it, and I recently just got married, and I had some of my ex-staff. Yes, I'm off the shelf again.
Off the shelf. Yes.
On the shelf, off the shelf. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
Good man, Pete. You're a good man, brother. Shout out to Pete.
Oh yeah, Pete who? Sorry.
Good, mate. I know who you are, Pete.
Which one?
But coming back to it, it just means that, you know, sort of at my wedding, I said to the people who'd worked with me for 8, 9, 10 years, you know, they're friends for life, you know, and they went through that adversity with me, and we have that real deep connection. So when I'm helping people, it means I know what they're going through. They don't need, they can instantly cry with me and share what they wouldn't want to share with they're best friends, you know.
Yeah.
They tell me everything.
Yeah.
They tell me everything.
One thing that is so important for us all to realise is that we all bleed red. It doesn't matter where you come from in the world, what race, what socioeconomic, where you live, where you don't live, what business you have, you don't have, what car you drive, you don't drive. We all bleed red. At the end of the day, we're all humans, and we actually go through the same stuff. And being real, being raw, like you are with your clients, I know really does have a great connection. And I want to thank you for your vulnerability and transparency in that, because a lot of people aren't prepared to do that.
Yeah, look, I actually, I just did a TV show with one of my clients that was recorded and played and aired yesterday, and one thing that resonated with me is he said, I'm real, I'm genuine, and I tell all my clients about my adversity because I want them to know who I am. And I want them to hear it, because that's what they want. They want to know that they're going to have someone who's solid beside them, not someone who needs to go away and think about what it is. You know, of course I have to go away at times and think about a few things, but the reality is that I'm solid. I'm there with them on their journey, you know, and I'm not going to leave.
That's awesome.
You know, we were speaking with someone recently about, you know, the power of storytelling, the power of story to grow your business or to get connected more with your customers. So where do you hold that as far as value? You know, is it just right at the forefront of what you do and your communication of your business? And who you are?
Look, if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I had telling your story first, so everyone else stole it from me, but I've been telling a story of my own and others, and I'm always forward planning and forward thinking what that story could look like, and then obviously putting things around it. So it provides credibility. You know, we were talking before, a couple of weeks ago, about you know, what's the engine about, you know, and who are we, and what separates us from other people out there that do what we do. And the most important thing for me is that my team, you know, we're business mechanics. You know, we're basically a group of providers, specialists in our own area. I mean, the Crate's one of my providers because you're a gem in my toolbox. So when I'm speaking to a business owner who's going through a pain point of leasing, trying to get out of their lease, or can't afford it, or need a place, or community starting up, reducing costs, I know that when I put them with the Crate, they're going to be looked after. They're an extension of me, you know, and that's important to me.
You know, coming out of COVID, we're still going through it in so many ways. You know, people have been crippled in their businesses. People have just been emotionally, physically, just even in their families, just everything. They just feel crippled. And I know that you've had so many phone calls and interactions with people coming to you, just asking for advice. Just, you know, we were talking earlier about people that would call you late at night, early hours of the morning, right? And so, you know, that seems to me like that's such a differentiator in your business. You're not just about, it's about people, right? It's about people. Does that sound right?
Yeah, look, it is. And somebody said to me, Kathleen, you can't save everybody. I'm not here to save people. But, you know, I say this all the time, is that you shouldn't be alone. It doesn't matter whatever it is, whether it's business or personal. In fact, with all the businesses I work with, I know all about their personal lives, you know, because they go hand in hand. And they share and they open it up. And if somebody emails me at 10 o'clock at night, I don't go, that can wait till the morning when they're emailing me for help. You know, I've been on the phone till 1 o'clock in the morning with somebody who wanted to check out. And I don't need to elaborate on what checking out means, but till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I actually, you know, I'll come over to your house, you know, and you know, that person said to me, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I might have done. Now, you know, I'm hoping they wouldn't have done anything, but if people are reaching out for help, don't go off the clock, you know, help them, be human. We've all been there, and we will be there at some point of some kind of adversity, and hopefully with what I'm doing, I'll continue to have people around me that'll help me through my own adversity, because it will continue. That's what humans, you know, we have adversity to learn and grow, and if we don't have adversity, I'd like to know why we don't have adversity, because it sounds like a pretty boring place to be honest. But
wow, I love that.
Yeah,
adversity actually makes life, it creates a sense of adventure, right? And when you overcome it, like I love the song before, right? I'm going to roar, I'm going to come back out. You know, I know that even with the song that we listened to, Katy Perry, that song was birthed out of the difficulty with her ex-husband, right? It was just this difficulty, but she came back.
That's why I resonated with that song. No, don't joke.
But right, like there's that sense of adversity. We can look at it in two ways. I reckon we can look at it as why did life happen to me, and why did this thing happen to me? Or we can look at it like how you do. What is happening in this situation? What can I learn? And what is happening for me in the moment, right?
Yeah, well, look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity, and I quite often used to say, "Why is it happening to me? I'm character built. Go somewhere else." But the reality is, I'm not character built.
That's right. Get out of here, character built.
And what I've come to learn and know is that by me going through my own adversity, I can relate to people and connect with them really quickly. And it's really important that I can do that, because I don't have hours and neither do they. If they're going through adversity, they need someone now. They need response now. They need support. And more often than not, they need a hug. I'll give an example. When I was at the Chamber of Commerce, because I was the advisor there for a while, and I had a guy who was inadvertently put into liquidation, and I got him out of liquidation, which is a really difficult process to go through. But before I did that, I said to him, we need to go to the food banks and get you some food. And I took him to the food bank to get food, and then I went back to his home with his wife, where his wife and children were, and sat there with them and unpacked those groceries. And I didn't have to do that, but I knew they needed it. And they were not from New Zealand. They had immigrated here and didn't have a community, and they needed somebody. So
that's awesome.
That's me, and I go back to my childhood and my own adversity and my mum and the strength that I got from that. Live your best life.
Yeah. It's been absolutely amazing having you on our show today, and I can tell you one thing for sure, that business is a fight, and there's times like a boxing fight, there's a few rounds to it. Sometimes you lose, but you got to get up, you got to have that raw, and you got to keep fighting. Yeah. But the cool thing about a good fighter is someone who they have good people in their corner. And I can say one thing for sure: if I had Catherine in my corner, I'd feel very confident, very safe, very secure. I'd have peace about it. And if you're a business person that can put your head on your pillow at night and sleep and have peace, I tell you what, you're a very lucky person.
And you wouldn't want to be a lawyer at the moment, because I've got lawyers who say I wouldn't want to go against Catherine. I've won a few rounds. I'm really detail orientated, and when I see somebody lying, I'm like a dog to a bone.
Bring it on.
It is bring it on, because I hate people being taken advantage of, and I've had it happen to myself, and I've had good people who've been there and batted for me, and I guess that's where I get my team mentality from, and so I just want to do a shout out to all the providers in the engine, the Crate, Matteli McKeag, Scottish Pacific, HR Toolkit, all those people, and my advisors. I'm only as good as the people I work with. Yeah. Only as good as the people I work with.
Now, every Thursday, we do something very, very cool at the Crate, right?
We do.
Free advisory. Tell us about that.
So if you come to the Crate on a Thursday, you don't have to be a tenant at the Crate, but the Crate has provided the space, and the engine has provided advisors. We're happy for you to come in, sit down with us, go through that roadblock. If we can't solve it for you on the day, we'll certainly find a way to solve it, either through the advisory or through our connections of our providers. But we're here to help the community, and that's what I love about the Crate. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm not being paid to do this, but I love the community about the Crate. They're genuine people. They know you by name. They get involved in your life because they care. And these are all values that really resonate with me, and I trust them.
That's why we're working together.
Absolutely.
Do
we cry now? No, we put on another song.
That's right. Yeah.
So look, that's so true. So free advisory at the Crate every Thursday with one of the engine's most amazing experts when it comes to advisory, business advisory and support. People who will get in the pool and swim with you. Yeah. As we heard from Catherine. And also anyone who joins us as a resident at the Crate gets a free advisory and a package that they can take advantage of just because of the exclusive partnership that we have with the Engine. So we're really, really proud of that.
Yeah, look, the Engine's also a leading provider to the Regional Business Partner Network, and so we've got funded and co-funded programs, and obviously working with the Crate, we're able to offer our program to businesses through the Crate. So the Crate is the hub that's providing the business community with layer upon layer of opportunity and possibility to help them in their business. So
Well, thank you so much, man. It's been such an honour to have you. You've been so exciting. We've had some great dance music going on. We've had a blast.
Have you tears?
are we there yet? Are we there
Up, down.
yet?
We're nearly at the Super Bowl. We're nearly at the Super Bowl. But to those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the Crate, Business with Locals, of course, the incredible drive here in the Toyota Highlander. So Toyota and the small business driver. What do you think about it?
Well, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to taking it out and doing a different kind of a car honcho with Joe.
Yeah.
But Dean will see it after we've recorded it.
Yeah,
And,
that's right.
So I guess really what I'm saying is that there is a naughty side to me too. So it's Friday. Let's break out.
Yeah, let's do it.
How to get hold of me? Wow, easy. www.theengine.biz. Our phone number's at the top. There's always someone answering the phone. But I just want to say you're not alone in business, and never be embarrassed about whatever you're going through. Share it with us. Your problem shared is a problem halved, and we're
So
here to
true.
help. We're here to help. And
Bring it on.
yeah.
Love you, mate.
Man,
Good
so
work.
good. Oh, yeah.
And we'll do hugs and kisses later.
Hugs and kisses, and I feel like we need one more song. Let's go.